Probably in this last year, I've made probably 20 of them. But before that, I never even paid any attention how many I made. I give them to everybody. Each one of my sisters have them. As fast as I take up a new craft, they all have to have one of everything. But I'm glad to share with people, because a lot of people have shared with me.
Through a pure and simple love and interest in her art, local resident Patty Roast makes an easy habit of proving time-worn adages true over and over again. Topping that list is the often heard "it's never too late to start" and the familiar "some things grow better with age." Starting in her 50s, Patty has become somewhat of an expert in two of her chosen craft fields, beading and basket making. The past 30 years have been prolific ones for Patty, and she has honed her skills as well as her enjoyment of the artistic process. She now calls the Ada area home, bringing with her the talent she learned and sharpened during her travels of America.
Well, I lived in Minnesota, where they have all Chippewas, which do a lot of beading, and had very good friends that were Indians. My dad was a very good friend of the Indians. And when you grow up with that, you learn to do it. But I had a fellow who was like my foster father who taught me how to do the beading and what colors to use and the symbols, and I'm very thankful that he did that. He had no girls of his own, and the baskets I learned to do in Arizona because we had long needles there.
Patty made a name for herself among Native Americans through her beading prowess, primarily by attending cultural events and displaying her creations there.
I went to powwows with the Indians to help them and sell products, And of course, you got to know what you're selling, because they're going to ask you a million questions about it. So, some of them use mostly orange, blue, white, and red, and some use going from black on out to the light colors. But, each one, they have their own colors, and they're pretty, they tell you what they really like. They pay dear for their beads. They see something they want, they're going to have it regardless of that price.
Patty studied many different kinds of art, taking as many classes as she could as she and her husband drew closer to retirement. But it was the craft and methodology of beading for which she soon discovered a preference.
To me, beadwork is a lot like painting. You're building as you go, You can just see it appear in front of you while you're building that. I made a lot of butterflies with long fringes for the dancers. And my foster father used to say, "Pat, I saw two butterflies crying because they weren't as pretty as the others." So they really love bright colors.
In another neat twist to her beading craft, Patty uses authentic porcupine quills, not the easiest raw material to find.
Well, you pull them off of dead porcupines. Usually that's how you get them. Then you bring them home and you wash them, and then kind of dry them, and you have to cut those ends off. Make sure you cut them where nobody can step on them or anything. And you always have to start at the big end of the quill to put your needle through. And if you get it started just right, it won't bend and it'll just slide right through. But my brother he had a road grader for the county up in Minnesota, and he'd call me in the mornings when he was out grading. "Pat, there's a dead porcupine at mile marker." And I'd go get him and bring him home and put them out in the garage and put the fan on so you don't smell them, and then cut them quills off or pull them.
Similar to the porcupine quill is the pine needle, the primary material in her baskets. Next to beading, basket making is Patty's craft of choice, and her finished products are unlike most. The pine needles Patty prefers aren't available from Oklahoma trees. Instead, she imports them from Florida, where each needle ranges from 12 to 14 inches in length. The longer needles make for an easier weave. She binds the needles together with natural straw.
It is I think it's a very interesting craft. It just kind of grows on you. I get started at night, I work till midnight on one, I don't want to quit, so.
Just like with her beads, Patty works on her pine needle baskets in a room inside her home. It's a quiet, tidy workspace, an artistic sanctum in which she can become pleasantly lost. Another adage Patty has proven true is, "A rolling stone gathers no moss." Her artwork remains as meticulously beautiful as can be found, and her faculties are as keen as those belonging to people half her age.
It's just satisfying. When you go to bed at night, you think you've done something. And if you don't ever create anything, you might as well not be here. And I'm heading that direction. I'm 84 this year, so I have to get everything done right away.